Hey second grade, this is Miss O'Hara and I am going to teach you how to turn this plate into something new. We are going to turn what used to be something to eat off of and repurpose it to be a loom. A loom is a tool you use for weaving on. Okay? So the first thing that you are going to need to turn this plate into a loom is this template. You have one at your table. I want you to push pause when I count to 3 and hit play again when you have this tracer, when it's your turn for the tracer. 1, 2, 3, pause. Okay, now that you have your tracer, it is your turn and you waited so politely for it. You are going to put that tracer over your plate and you should be able to read circle weaving template. Now it's very important that this tracer not move. So I'm going to stick my hand down right in the middle of it like this. Okay, so it doesn't go anywhere. And then you are going to get your pencil. I'm going to use a Sharpie because I want you to be able to see it. And I am going to put one line inside of each one of these notches, okay? Just one line. Some kids want to put 2 in. Don't do that. Just one. And by the time you're done, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 lines. You could put your pencil away and give this tracer to the next friend who is waiting. Now that you have these lines on the edge, here is why you want 1 instead of 2. Now you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to put 1 cut, not 2, 1 on each one of these little notches. And you notice that I am cutting right down to where the circle starts, okay, where it starts to go down into this part. I'm cutting the whole lip of the plate, okay? I don't want to cut past that because that's going to make it hard later, okay? So just cut the lip all the way around on each and every notch. All right. Now that I have all the notches cut, this plate is now ready to be a loom, okay? Now, a loom needs to be warped, okay? Warping a loom is putting threads on it that you're going to weave through. So we're going to put warp threads on. You're going to get one of these little yarn bundles to start warping your loom. Okay? To teach you to warp a loom, I first need to tell you a story. And it is the story of a little string that went out playing in his neighborhood one day. And that string got thirsty. And he needed a glass of water. So he went to a neighbor's house. This house right here. And he hooked into that neighbor's house. See the little tail? Okay? And he asked for a drink of water. But that neighbor was mean. And he yelled, "Get out of my house!" And the little string got so scared and he ran across the street to this neighbor, where he knocked on the door and asked for a glass of water. But that neighbor was mean. And he yelled, "Get out of my house!" Well, the string had run next door before, and that didn't work. Or he'd run across the street before, and that didn't work. So this time he went next door. And at that next door place, he asked for a glass of water. But that neighbor was mean, and he yelled, "Get out of my house!" And the string ran across the street to that neighbor. And you notice that it makes an X in the middle, okay? Your warp should be making an X in the middle. Now, I bet you've already guessed that this neighbor was mean and yelled, "Get out of my house!" And this little string went next door. After that string went to this mean neighbor, he went across the street and hooked in. Okay? And after this across the street mean neighbor, he went next door, then across the street, then 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 next door, then across the street, and then next door, and across the street, and then finally next door, until that poor widow string had gotten kicked out of every house in his neighborhood. Oh. And now you are ready to start weaving.